Grazie Presidente.
Thank you, Madam
Due
President.
mozioni con lo stesso
Two motions
obiettivo.
with the same objective.
Alcuni argomenti sono diversi,
Some of the
altri
arguments are
sono
different,
uguali.
others are exactly the
Nella
same.
mozione dell'estrema sinistra
In the motion
il
from the
focus
extreme left,
è sulla questione
the sole
israelo-palestinese.
focus is on the
Non
Israel-Palestine
una
question.
sola parola di condanna
Not
di
a
Hamas.
single word condemning
Non
Hamas.
un solo riferimento
Not a
agli
single
ostaggi
word
israeliani vivi
referring
e
to
morti,
Israeli
o
hostages,
all'inizio
both
del
dead
7
and
ottobre,
alive.
in cui domani ricorrono i 2
No
anni.
reference to the 7th of
La
October,
condanna
which
di Israele,
the anniversary which we'll be
invece, è
celebrating.
persino violenta. E nell'invocare
How
delle
this
sanzioni contro
absolute
Israele,
condemnation
la
of
mozione
Israel.
finisce anche
This focus
con
on Israel in the
solidarizzare
resolution
con la Russia di
leads
Putin.
in effect to an expression of solidarity with Putin's Russia. Another passage which is worth underlining is that which refers to the lack of response from the part of the Commission to the climate and social crisis. It's interesting to note here how cause and effect are linked. The idea that the Green Deal is actually a source of enormous social malaise, that's true. Moreover, the people of Europe are voting for the right rather than the left, just because of that. I think your brain must be completely packed with ideology to fail to see this self-evident fact. This is quite different from the other motion we're talking about today. In that motion too, there are quite justified points of criticism regarding the Commission's lack of transparency, its tendency to muscle in on national powers as set out in the European treaties. However, there are two issues on which these two motions coming from the two extremes of Parliament cover common ground. Criticism of the trade agreement with South America. There things get a bit more complicated. Obviously, it's very much, or would be very much in our interest to export our products duty-free to 700 million consumers. The problem, however, is it's European farmers who are already being crushed by the weight of the European Green Deal who are paying the price for this. And the fact is they will now be subjected to imports coming from across the Atlantic which aren't subjected to the same rules. At the same time, we have an agreement with the Pump administration. Of course, this agreement isn't perfect, but let's face up to the fact the European market is the best market for our exporters. The idea of a trade war with our main ally would only serve the interests of those who hate President Trump more than they love their own peoples. Of course, in the ECR, every national delegation will be free to vote on the basis of its own conscience and the interests of its own people. The European Union will for us never be a prison. It is an alliance of nations which does not try to suffocate their hopes and aspirations, but promotes cooperation rather than pushing through its own ideas.
Now I give the floor to Valérie Ayer, 3.5 minutes.